So for those of you that know Freddie Dobbs, you'd already know about SIZZAPP because he's had one on his Bonneville for quite some time. Now, firstly, I need to apologise. SIZZAPP actually sent me out this tracker months ago. But due to the fact that I've had renos on and I haven't had access to a garage to do any work in and film, I haven't been able to put together a video for this yet. So today is the day. I'm going to install this SIZZAPP on the R1250 GS and then we'll load up the app onto the phone and I'll let you know what I think. Alright team, I've rolled the GS into the workshop and I've got the SIZZAPP here ready to go. Now it looks like it's a pretty simple install, but I have a habit of making simple things more difficult than they need to be, so time will tell. But essentially it looks like there's just a red wire and a black wire and the unit itself with a bit of double-sided sticky tape on there so you can actually mount it somewhere out of the way. Once it's installed, we'll load up the app, we'll have a look. As I said, I have a habit of making easy things difficult, so let's open up that battery box and see how we go. Alright, so looking into the battery bay here, you can see she's absolutely filthy because this bike did the GS Safari here in Australia last year before I bought it, so she has got plenty of outback dust. Well, actually I think it's Tasmanian dust, so I'll give it a bit of a clean while I'm in here. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since the last segment you just watched. Now, the spaces to be able to put the SIZZAPP onto the GS are quite restrictive. The GS being a pretty heavily computerized bike, there's a lot of stuff going on in all the holes where you'd want to put this little item. So I wanted to double check with my mate Steph from Bikes, Burgers and Beers just to see what he thought about this. So as you can see, this is the main seat here. I can't move it too far away. It's wired in with the seat warmer, as is the rear seat. Now under the rear seat first, you can see there's a bit of space there, but there's a lot of electricals there to get in the way and a bit hard to run the wiring through to the battery. So that leaves me with this. So this is the only space that I really have to be able to put the SIZZAPP that I'm aware of. Now there's enough head space under here, under the seat, for it to sit. Now my only thing is, this unit here, I'm not really sure what it is. I'm thinking it might be the brains of the computer, which means that I'm assuming this might get hot, and the cooling fins here suggest that it might be something that does need cooling, which might get hot. So what I'm going to try and do, it's easy to run the wiring from here through to the battery terminals. That's no problems at all. What I'm thinking about doing is, since this is already connected by a wire and I already have to be careful, I might attach the SIZZAPP under here with the sticky back that's got double-sided tape. Maybe I might sit it there, run the cables through. It does mean that any time I lift off that seat, I have to be super careful of where the SIZZAPP is, as well as where the wiring is going as well. So that's what I'm thinking right now. And I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but time will tell whether this works or not. So let's put it in. Okay, let's see where we can route this wiring through. Somewhere nice and safe. That looks like a good little spot. If you want to see how bad I am at this sort of stuff in general, check out my installation of my hog lights on my old Harley. And you'll see that I am absolutely hopeless when it comes to this sort of stuff. However, I'm assured that this is a relatively easy process, and so far it's looking like it is. There we go. They're in place. So I'll get the SIZZAPP. Now I have to admit that anytime I'm playing with batteries, I get nervous. But the manual says attach the black wire to the negative first, the red wire to the red terminal. So I'll put it around here. That should be installed. But as I said before, knowing me, who knows? Okay, time to seal everything back up, put on my riding gear, take it for a quick run, and then we'll have a look at the app. So it seems the SIZZAPP has a whole lot of functions. I think primarily most people will be looking at it as a GPS tracker. So you put it on it, you know where your bike is at all times. If it gets stolen, you can track it to wherever it's gone to, providing they haven't removed the tracker. But there are so many more features as well. There's Find My Bike, you can share your ride. You can actually look at your battery health from the other side of the country. You can see if there's enough charge in your battery and your battery's not dying. You can be notified when your battery is getting low, so you can actually go out and charge it or take it for a ride. Really cool. You can set up a geo zone, so a region around your bike, whether you park somewhere, and if it moves outside of that region, you get an alarm sent to your phone. Great technology and so simple to install. Even I installed it, as you saw, with relative ease. Anyway, let's jump off the bike and have a look at the app. Okay, been out for a quick ride, grabbed some fuel. The bike's sitting there, not far from home, but of course I don't want to show you where I live. Let's go over into the park. Actually, there's a seat here. And then we'll have a look at the screen. We'll have a look at the SIZZAPP app and just see what it's told us for this short little trip to the petrol station and back. Anyway, let's have a look. Okay, here we are, opening up the SIZZAPP app. As you can see, there's a bike there. It looks like a sexy little BMW Cafe Racer R9T perhaps. I don't know if you can see that at all, or if it can change that, I should say. But if you look at the top left-hand side of the screen, you can see the battery's charged at 14 volts. It was 12.7 when I started, so obviously with a short ride, the battery has boosted up. 23 degrees where I'm sitting right now. And I've only travelled 1.91 kilometres, which is from home to the fuel stations back to here. And what else can I see here? Let's just check if the GPS is right. Open up the map. Slowly, slowly. There we go. And that's exactly where I am. That's exactly where the bike is. So completely accurate, as you would expect. I mean, with the GPSs these days, they are incredibly accurate. But the SIZZAPP GPS is also incredibly accurate. All right, let's go back to the app. Okay, well there you go, team. As expected, everything worked really well. Super easy to install. The hardest thing is simply finding the place to put it. Where is it going to be most safe, out of the way? I mean, obviously where I've put it is easy to find. You could put more effort into trying to hide it somewhere for if you're using it for GPS tracking purposes. But this is also suitable for your bikes, your cars, your trucks, your vans, absolutely everything. You can install this on and have that added peace of mind of knowing where your vehicle is, number one, knowing what the battery status is, and you've got trip details there as well, so you can actually access trip details on how you went on each trip. And maybe if you've got kids that are learning to drive, and you keep an eye on their driving habits, knowing if they're going too fast in certain areas, knowing if they're doing the wrong things. Maybe it's a great parenting tool as well. Anyway guys, I just came out quickly to film this, taking the bike back. I've got plenty to do. It's Sunday here, and I need to get some work done around the house. Anyway folks, throttle on, stay safe, check out SIZZAPP if you're here in Australia, There is also SIZZAPP Australia. All the links will be in the descriptions below. And it's time for me to head home. See ya. Thanks for watching.